So this video is going to be the first of a series of videos I'm going to try to do every Sunday of how to make your home more magical and live in harmony with your surroundings. So the first thing I want to address is the subject of house spirits and land spirits. And so even though it may be unknown to you, there are land spirits and house spirits among you in your home. Even though you can't see them, they are there. And most of the time, you're living pretty much side by side with these beings. Now, there's spirits of the land and surrounding your house, and there's spirits that are probably inside of your house. And that's why sometimes people have, they may think that their house is haunted or bizarre things happen. And so there's a way to get along with these beings and actually live in harmony with them. And I'll be going over that today. So even back in like fairy lore and all that, there was things that were done to get along with the spirits that live in your house. And so some of the spirits are ancestral. So if a family has lived in a house a long time, there's a bond there. And if future generations move in, there's a bond that it's these beings welcome the new family members. As long as there's a respect there and you respect the land and you respect the home, things will go fine. And there's ways to appease these spirits too. And there's been legends where they will clean for you and they will protect you and any, if let's say somebody was coming to your house that wasn't in your best interest, they would protect you somehow. And so if you don't come in, even on the land, if you don't come in and start bulldozing everything down with no respect to the trees that have been there forever and everything, things will be okay. But you do have to, if you're coming into some new land even, you have to kind of introduce yourself to these spirits and let them know what is happening, and to do as little as possible to the land that you are coming into, and they will be on your side. So I've had experiences where I came downstairs in my old house that I used to live in, and the furniture was rearranged. So I put it back to where it was supposed to be. I went upstairs and I asked my son if he had rearranged the furniture downstairs, and he looked at me like I was crazy. And he's like, "Of course not, I didn't rearrange the furniture." So I was like, that was really bizarre. So I go back downstairs again after I had put everything back into place, and they were out of place again. And so I knew it wasn't him, because by the time I rearranged it, went back upstairs and came back downstairs, it had been moved again. And so it was just, them letting me know that they're there, and they can be mischievous sometimes. And so I can see where a lot of people would like freak out or whatever, but that's kind of the personality of house spirits. And so they actually, the longer you live there, they become like a part of your family. And so the way that you can get along with them and honor their presence and let them know that you know that they're there and you'd like to have a nice working relationship with them. It all kind of had to do around the hearth. That's why I'm sitting in front of a fireplace. And so the hearth was the center of the home. And it had a lot to do with the fire that's there. And in the past, ceremonies and gatherings and a lot of shamanic work would be done around a fire. And so when that was no longer possible because of persecutions and everything like that, all the ceremonies and all that started being done in front of the fireplace. And worshiping the ancestors and all that. I mean, we still do that to this day. On our mantles, we put pictures of our loved ones, even ones that have passed away. And so that is kind of an honoring of the ancestor tradition that we still do, that we're not conscious of. And so this is where people would put their offerings to the house spirits and the land spirits. And so they are more active when I do that. So when I put, I mean, traditionally they have like put a bowl of cream out and some cakes and all that. And I still put things out, but I don't feel like it has to be traditional cream and cake and things like that. I think if you just do that to let them know that you are honoring them and that you know that they're here and that you would like to develop a relationship with them. And so you can put out dried fruits and nuts. If you want to put out cream, you can put out cream. But you just are honoring them. And I still, when I was working with Native American and up in the mountains, before every meal, they would take, before they even fed themselves, they would take bits of food that we were going to eat, and they take it out to a bird bath that was on the land that we were in, and they set that plate there. They always honored the spirits of the land first, and then they ate. And they do that because I'm sure that they've seen them, and that they're honoring them, and they live on this land, and so they want a nice working relationship with them. So as long as you're just always acknowledging them, and they may make themselves known. I've had them even, I couldn't see them, but they've come like flown through my hair and landed on my bed, and it was invisible, but I could feel it, and I knew that it was there. And so they're there. They've been in this area that you're now living in for a long time. And so, you know, the best that you can try to develop a relationship with them, the better. And it just helps in the long run, especially if anytime you're going to someplace new or any piece of land that's new. If you're going to the wilderness for the first time, you should always know that there's beings there that you're not able to see, and that's their home. And so if I ever do go somewhere new, or I'm camping somewhere new, I just walk around and I don't say anything, and just let them know my presence and feel me, and I know, I make it clear that I'm there as a friend. Humans have been really cruel to this planet, and so they're very leery of humans when they come into their areas. So I make sure I pick up trash. I don't play any loud music. I don't take more than I need when I'm making a fire. I honor them with food. And so you should always consider that when you're going somewhere new for the first time, or a new home. You introduce yourself. You have some type of ceremony. I always do a cleansing and a blessing of a new home, especially. It's a transition of the old owners that used to be there, and now you're introducing yourself as the new owner. And you want to start off on a good foot. So it's always a good idea to introduce yourself and, you know, really realize that there's beings and spirits there in the house and in the land. And it's something that I think we all need to think about. And again, why it's so important, our homes, we spend so much time there. And it's really something that should be considered sacred. Like I said in the last video, that our homes kind of have become sterile and concrete and wood boxes, and we You know, homes were always considered magical in the past, and we've lost that. And so really you can develop a lot of allies by really working with them and acknowledging them. They just want acknowledgement sometimes, and that's why they will move things or play with you. But if you do things that they're not happy with, yeah, they will probably cause some havoc. But you're in their territory, so you can't forget that. So there's a lot of respect that needs to be given. You know, we're not the masters of this world, and you know, not everything's here to serve us, like we kind of have been taught. So anyway, I hope that you introduce yourself and realize that there's beings in your home, and honor them, and put some treats out on the hearth, or before every meal, just take a little bit of the meal and put it on the hearth on a plate, just so you know that they know you're acknowledging them and that they're part of the house also. All right, that's it for today, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.